principals. Also in the field, the black and silver, 28 of hometown favorite and record qualifier Buddy Baker. And the yellow and blue, number 2 of point leader Dale Earnhardt. Last year's top rookie could be this year's national champion. And then Sports World changes lanes and heads to the Playboy Club in Great Gorge, New Jersey for the Legends of Bowling. Sports World's unique 7-frame format. Sports World Racing Team is back in the Deep South once again at one of the most exciting super speedways in the United States, the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Hi, everybody. I'm Paul Page, and we are here for the Charlotte 500 for Grand National cars, and we expect it to be an exciting race this afternoon, but there's even more to it than that. There is quite a controversy brewing here between Darrell Waltrip and his team owner. He has said that he doesn't want to drive for the team any longer. The team has responded, he is under contract, and he must drive. Now, Bruce Jenner and Gary Gerald are down in the pits with the principals of that controversy at this moment.
Well, Paul, indeed we do have the principals at the start of a very interesting situation prior to this 500 miles at Charlotte today. Bruce Jenner is one of the drivers who has been contacted by Bill Gardner pertaining to his race plans for 1981. Bruce, of course, is part of our team today. And, Bruce, perhaps we should start with you. Your comments about this most unique situation.
Well, my comments are, one, I'm flattered for 2 reasons. One is that I would be sent this telegram and asked to drive a car like this because I am been in the sport for over a year now, and it's very nice to be thought of that way. And the second reason I'm flattered is the company that I'm in. I'm not the only one that got a telegram. You got guys like Rutherford and Paul Newman who are very established, very good drivers. So I'm flattered, and you know, I'm interested. I would like to talk about it. Yes.
Mr. Gardner, your position at this point, do you have any idea really what's going to happen next year with your Dygard racing team?
Well, I know one thing is that we're racing next year, and my position today is that I have to find a driver to drive the Gatorade 88 car next year. And so my interests have expanded beyond the NASCAR drivers that presently compete in the sport to the gentleman that Bruce referred to earlier.
Would you still like to have Darrell Waltrip behind the wheel of your race car?
Yes, no question.
Well, Darrell is standing alongside. Darrell does not want to talk at all about this particular situation. He has requested specifically that we not allude to that particular his future, his driving future for 1981. So, Darrell, let's talk a little bit about the race today.
Oh, they're having a race.
With all of this going on, how does it affect your concentration? Does it bother you out here as you get ready to go racing?
Well, I'm a race driver, first of all, and the biggest thing on my mind is the National 500 today, and we've got Rockingham, Atlanta, and Ontario, and I think I've still got a shot at the Winston Cup Championship, and until until the season's over and that's behind me, I'm not thinking about 1981. I know racing has a certain amount of show time, but right now I'm interested in racing.
Do you feel that this has it been blown out of proportion? Has it been gaining too much publicity as far as you're concerned?
No, I think the National 500 is getting what it deserves.
All right, Darrell Waltrip will not talk about the situation that a lot of other people are talking about down here in the pits and up in the grandstands, but we do know that we're looking forward to a whale of a race.
Thank you, Gary Gerald. So we have controversy. We also have competition because hometown favorite Buddy Baker in number 28 will sit on the pole with a record qualifying speed of 165.635 miles an hour. Breaking the existing track record, he is now ready to go, and he's with Gary Gerald.
Well, Paul, we're down here, a record-breaking front row, record speeds at Charlotte once again. The man responsible on the pole, the hometown favorite, Buddy Baker. And, Buddy, I know this is always one of those anxious moments and sometimes kind of an emotional one. Your thoughts right now?
Well, just getting ready for the race, and really, you know, it's not that nervous a time in a race car. Everything's been done that can be done now, and all we're doing is waiting on the race to start.
Buddy, a year ago in this particular race on NBC Sports World, you were running right up front, and it didn't turn out to be a good day. You got pinched on the back straightaway and in the fence, and there was a lot of disappointment. How do you put those things out of your mind on a brand new race?
Well, it's another year and another situation. It could go good or bad, and you know that when you crawl in one of these babies. But main thing is to do the best you can, represent your company the best you can, and if I do that, I think I got the race car to win the race.
Surprised by the performance of the young man who starts alongside you in the front row, Ricky Rudd?
No, Ricky's a good driver. He'll manage okay.
All right, I know you're ready to strap in and get set to the business of racing. Back upstairs to Paul Page.
There are nearly 100,000 people here at Charlotte. Many of them are going to be rooting for Buddy Baker. But alongside, in his fifth start here, is Ricky Rudd.
Okay, Paul, we're down here with Ricky Rudd right now. And, Ricky, I know this is one of those great moments because you have a tremendous opportunity today. You surprised a lot of people by getting a front row starting position. You've got a chance to showcase your talents, and that's going to go a long way toward determining your race in the future.
Yeah, well, we came here, you know, we didn't really come to expect to qualify this year. We came here to race, and we were racing the same motor we qualified with, and the car's still set up well. So, you know, it's 500 miles of racing, and we're going out there to race. Now, I think that if we run with no problem, we'll be there in the end.
Do you feel any undue pressure, or is it just another race to you?
No, not really. You know, it's not, it doesn't really bother me. It's no real big difference. Just go out and do the best you can.
I know a lot of people are going to be watching you very closely. They hope it's a good statement for you.
Thank you.
All right, there's Ricky Rudd. He starts alongside Buddy Baker in the front row of our Charlotte 500.
A 25-year-old Ricky Rudd driving the car owned by his father. And the field is set now. We'll be back with the start of the Charlotte 500. Welcome back to the Charlotte 500. I'm Paul Page with Gary Gerald. The field is now moved.
We're proud to lend you money.
Record-breaking car driven by Buddy Baker. The defending champion, car number 11, the inside of the second row. Dale Earnhardt. Number 88 of Darrell Waltrip. Harry Gant is alongside in number 47. The fourth row, car number 15, white and blue, driven by Bobby Allison. The famous number 21 of Neil Bonnett alongside the outside of the fourth row. Number 27, Benny Parsons, who stands to make $100,000 if he wins today. The outside of the fifth row, 44, driven by Terry Labonte. And here is the rest of this Charlotte 500 Grand National field. You'll notice Richard Petty in the field making his 20th start here today, and David Pearson, who is starting this race for the 18th time. Now the pace beginning to pick up as Buddy Baker moves his car back and forth on the race course to scrub the tires in, build up heat. His attention now riveted on the starter. The green flag is anticipated momentarily. The pace car drops down low off the course. The pace of the field begins to build, and Buddy Baker brings them down to the green flag. The field nicely aligned. This will be the start of the Charlotte 500. Baker brings them smoothly. There's the green flag. And Ricky Rudd tries a hard pull on Baker into the first turn, but it's Baker that drops down low, applies the power, and takes the lead. Rudd drops into second place. Earnhardt begins battling with Cale Yarborough for third. Now Baker begins to stretch out a lead as they come off in the second turn. Already they begin to string out, and already the draft becomes a factor, one that we'll be talking about all afternoon here at the Charlotte 500. Buddy Baker in car number 28 continues his lead. Ricky Rudd is in second place. Dale Earnhardt is in third. And Buddy Baker will take him to the line to lead lap number 1 of this Charlotte 500. He certainly would like to win here today. He won the first race of his career here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway in 1967. He's out in front right now. Ricky Rudd in second. Dale Earnhardt begins now to close on the tail end of Rudd's car. Down the back straightaway. Fourth position occupied by Darrell Waltrip. Fifth place is the defending national champion, Cale Yarborough. Here, Ricky Rudd coming close alongside Buddy Baker. Earnhardt is right there in case anything goes wrong. And Ricky Rudd forges his nose just a bit ahead, but Baker should be able to overtake him before they get to the line, and he does. It is Baker first, Rudd second, Earnhardt third, but now Earnhardt moves to the outside, takes the high line, and tries to pick up a position. Indeed, he picks up second place and sets sights on the leader. Dale Earnhardt making his move early in this race. Buddy Baker leading down the backstretch now. Earnhardt second, and Darrell Waltrip has moved up into third place. Cale Yarborough dropped into fourth. Ricky Rudd has begun to drop back. Rudd, who finished lap number 1 in second place, falling back through the field now. But Buddy Baker setting record pace as he did record qualifying here in the Charlotte 500. Darrell Waltrip drops low on the race course, makes his bid for Dale Earnhardt's position, and now Waltrip Waltrip slides into second place. That pushes Earnhardt back into third. Cale Yarborough at number 11 is satisfied to sit back and forth and watch what develops up front. In a race of 500 miles, that's a smart move at this point in the afternoon. Dale Earnhardt is using every inch of the race course in his forge up to the front, coming off the fourth. Earnhardt almost up against the wall, may have kissed it as he comes onto the main straightaway. Earnhardt using every inch of the race course to pick up speed to try and move up to the front. Now Darrell Waltrip at number 88 drops down below Buddy Baker and tries to push his way into the lead. Earnhardt at number 2 moved right up behind Waltrip so he can take advantage of the draft if Waltrip actually does get out in front. Side by side, they're on the race course almost as if it were the pace lap all over again. But here is Waltrip forging just a bit ahead. Baker on the high side, Waltrip low. Both Earnhardt and Cale Yarborough waiting to see what develops up front. Now Waltrip solidly in the lead, Earnhardt second, Yarborough third, and Baker pushed back to fourth place. And lying just a bit back now is Ricky Rudd, who started on the outside of the front row. So Darrell Waltrip now begins his fight with Dale Earnhardt. And once again, Cale Yarborough sitting back just a bit, but it looks like Yarborough wants to make a bid for the lead. He ducks low, tries to get under Earnhardt. Earnhardt shuts the door on him. Waltrip almost loses control, still sliding sideways. Waltrip, Ricky Rudd spins it. Rudd in trouble. Bobby Allison down low. Allison spinning too. There is Rudd. He gets it under control at the pit entrance, but he's burned those tires badly. He'll have to come in and change tires. Bobby Allison did a magnificent job of driving to miss Ricky Rudd. The yellow flag is out now. That'll slow the field. Let's look at it in slow motion. There is Ricky Rudd, number 22. Looks like he taps Buddy Baker's bumper as Baker goes unsteady for just a moment. Then Rudd begins to spin. Allison drives below Rudd and misses him. Neil Bonnett goes high and misses him on the high side. Nice piece of driving by Allison as he brings number 15 around. Ricky Rudd now has some flat spots on his tires, as does Bobby Allison. They're both of the cars heading down into the pit. So Ricky Rudd will receive some service from Harry Hyde and that fine crew, as will Bobby Allison receive service from his crew. And we have a lull in the action now. So Sports World will be back. Waltrip in the green and white, number 88, has picked up the lead. Second place is Buddy Baker. Third is Dale Earnhardt. Now, Darrell Waltrip has said that he does not want to drive the car that he's in at the moment, and in fact, leading this race. He wants to separate himself from his team owner. That's a great controversy here at the Speedway today, but it's hard to tell why someone would want to give up a car that is capable of running in front. Now let's leave the action of the Charlotte Motor Speedway and go to this Sports World special. The World Series. 500, and then this occurred. He brought the car into the pits. The crew went to work, but it was definitely not a routine pit stop. There was something seriously wrong with the performance of the car. Crew chief Jake Elder looked the machine over, and he is now with Gary Gerald to discuss the problem.
Here's Jake Elder and the Darrell Waltrip pit. Jake, you've fallen back off the pace. What seems to be the problem?
They broke the sway bar time jolt out of the A-arm, the bottom A-arm. That way we ain't got no sway bar. The car's sitting there dipping when it goes to the corner. It's following the right front car out.
At this point, then, you just stay on the track for points?
The only thing we do is run the finish. We ain't got no way to win the race.
All right, thank you, Jake. Jake Elder and the Darrell Waltrip pit, they've got problems with the suspension and the sway bar.
Well, Gary, not only do they have little chance of winning the race, the car is not going to handle very well with a broken sway bar. The sway bar would give it equal traction on the race course. Without it, the car is going to be skinny. The day is effectively over for Darrell Waltrip, but the Charlotte 500 is not over. And Sports World is not over. We have more of the second quarterfinal round of the Legends of Bowling coming up. And a Sports Journal reports on the use of cocaine. With Neil Bonnett out in front, Dale Earnhardt second. Darrell Waltrip is one lap down, but running with the leader. Earnhardt in his yellow and blue machine is closing up behind Darrell Waltrip, closing tightly. Now, Waltrip's car, look at Earnhardt, drop to the inside to try and go around Neil Bonnett. Side by side, three abreast, but number 88, Darrell Waltrip, is handling very skittish at the moment. The car has a broken sway bar. There's some question in my mind as to whether or not it should even be on the race course. He doesn't have near the control of that machine as does your leader at this moment, Dale Earnhardt, or the car alongside the 21 machine of Neil Bonnett. Nevertheless, he is running with the leaders. Dale Earnhardt out in front. Number 21 is Neil Bonnett. Then sitting back in third place is Buddy Baker. And do keep in mind, number 88 is one lap down. And Darrell Waltrip has his hands full with that machine. It's just not handling. Look at it begin to skate there on the turn as he drops back just a bit. But Waltrip has a very mishandling race car, and he has to be watched as all of the leaders try to spring past him. Earnhardt out in front. Bonnett is in second. Buddy Baker down inside. Darrell Waltrip in third place. Earnhardt running smoothly. Neil Bonnett seems to be satisfied to sit right behind him. Buddy Baker is safely back in third. Waltrip is spinning. Waltrip takes out Benny Parsons. They're sliding on the backstretch. Lenny Pond slides through. Pond against the wall. Waltrip spins, causes a three-car accident. The car not handling well. Now he's in trouble on the racetrack. The question is going to be the 27 car. Benny Parsons stands to make $100,000 if he could only win today. A special offer by the racetrack, $100,000 bucks. But there is the $100,000 bet right now. Darrell Waltrip brings his machine into the pits, badly damaged on the left side where he got against the wall. The yellow flag is out. The entire field will come in now. The question mark is going to be Benny Parsons. This is one of my favorite moments in racing. Look at the almost orchestrated ballet that each of the crews goes through as they come in to make their stops. Every step, every movement is precision. Each of the members of the crew knows exactly what he is to do, and everyone interlocks. One man must step out of the way before the other can lunge forward. Now, in a few short seconds, the cars are loaded with fuel. In most cases, the right side tires are changed, and the entire field in and out. Try and get that kind of service at your local filling station. So the field in, the field out. The yellow flag is flying over the Charlotte Motor Speedway, and Darrell Waltrip spun his car. He struck Benny Parsons in car 27, took both of them close to the wall, and then Lenny Pond came through the center. Now the question mark will be, what is the status of Parsons' car? Harry Hyde and his quick crew go to work on Ricky Rudd's car, send it back to the race course, trailing a bit of gasoline off the back of the car as it bends. What could have been $100,000? Benny Parsons' car on the back of the wrecker. Here is Darrell Waltrip in once again. They're still trying to repair the damage to the side of his race car. But for Benny Parsons, it's the loss of $100,000. Let's go to Gary Gerald.
Benny, are you going to try to make repairs and get back out, or is it all over at this point?
I don't really know. I haven't even got out yet. I imagine it's all over. Looks pretty bad.
Can you give us any indication of what happened out there?
Yeah, Darrell spun out and I hit it. You know, pretty simple open shut case.
Well, one of those things where you see $100 grand just float right by your eyes, huh?
Goodbye, $100 grand, yeah.
All right.
Benny Parsons, dejected, still managing a pretty good sense of humor, however, in the cockpit of number 27.
So the man from Ellerby, North Carolina can laugh at the loss of $100 grand. Well, we're under yellow now, so let's join Sam Nover for the second quarterfinal round of the Legends of Bowling. Last week, again, from the bowling lanes to the fast lanes at the Charlotte 500, and the green flag is out once again over the head of Cale Yarborough, and car number 11, who has picked up the lead. In second place is Buddy Baker. Now, Donnie Allison is physically in the third position on the racetrack, but he is a lap down. In third place at this moment is Dale Earnhardt. But Cale Yarborough, the defending national champion, leads them down the backstretch. Now Buddy Baker makes a bid, trying the hard side of the racecourse, down low on the track, and just forces his way past Cale Yarborough. So now, Buddy Baker back in front once again, trying to win this Charlotte 500. Second place is Cale Yarborough. Third place is the yellow and blue machine number 2 of Dale Earnhardt. But there are other cars that are down in the race, up running with the leaders at this moment. There's Dale Earnhardt as he begins to close on the back end of Donnie Allison's car. He wants to get up and stay in contact with both Baker and Cale Yarborough. He doesn't want to get too far behind that draft. Earnhardt using the high side of the race course with his number 2. Bobby Allison is also in there, as is Kerry Labonte and Neil Bonnett. So a very tight battle for the lead at this moment. But it is Buddy Baker that is out in front. Dale Earnhardt wants to stay in close contact with Cale Yarborough. At the start of this race, they were only separated in the national championship points race by 105 points. So Earnhardt doesn't want to let Yarborough out of his sight. Buddy Baker leads. Yarborough second. Earnhardt is in third position. Still quite a group running up near the front of the pack. In fourth place is Terry Labonte. Now, Labonte has had a great afternoon. He's led this race several times, and he is still very much in the hunt, sitting back in the fourth position. A battle, too, beginning to develop for fifth place between Bobby Allison and Neil Bonnett. So there is racing all over the track here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. But it's car 28, Buddy Baker, that is our leader this afternoon. Cale Yarborough chasing him. There is Allison. Bonnett is chasing him. This is a battle for fifth place. There's trouble. Labonte spins. Chuck Bounds taken out. Now, Neil Bonnett is involved. Bobby Allison is involved. Serious trouble up in the fourth turn. 4, 5 cars involved. Richard Petty spins. Henry Labonte began this accident with a spin. Now the yellow is out at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Neil Bonnett has not yet climbed out of his car. There's Labonte's car. He's all right. He's beginning to move around. Let's look at it again. Labonte on the left side of your screen begins to spin. Then Chuck Bound hits him, and it's almost a head-on crash between Labonte and Neil Bonnett. And Bobby Allison is forced up to the wall. Then Bonnett, Bound, and Labonte tangled together. Neil Bonnett slides up and taps the wall again. Heavy damage to number 21. Heavy damage to number 44. In the pits, they begin the repairs.
Well, the Buckmore crew scrambling now, really with their work cut out for them as they try to pry some sheet metal away from the left front tire on Bobby Allison's number 15. Earlier today, he was involved in sent him to the back of the pack. He was able to get back up there and has led the race on occasion this afternoon and running with the leaders. This time, he's got extensive damage up front. Whether or not how it will affect the handling of the race car yet remains to be seen. He's already lost a lot of time here in the pits, and they're still trying to get it clear from that wheel well before he can get back on the track.
Gary Gerald, a serious accident here this afternoon at Charlotte Motor Speedway. They're helping Neil Bonnett out of the car. Humpy Wheeler's safety crews were right on top of this accident, but there is some concern about Neil Bonnett. He's holding his left wrist. Hasn't even taken his driving glove off. I don't think he really wants it off. Neil Bonnett obviously shaken by this accident in the fourth turn at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Terry Labonte involved, Neil Bonnett involved, Richard Petty spun, got restarted, Bobby Allison involved, Chuck Bowen involved. Now down in the pit area, Gary Gerald is with Terry Labonte and gets his view of the accident.
Here's Terry Labonte, who had just climbed out of the car, had a chance to survey the damage. Obvious it's all the way around the race car. Can you give us any indication of what happened up there, Terry?
Well, I thought I blew out a right rear tire, but since I've looked at the right rear tire and it's not blown out, I bet next guess would be that Chuck Bound run into me in the left rear quarter panel. And it's the second time in my career he's taken me out, and, you know, we're going to talk about it, and I guarantee it'll be the last time.
All right, glad to see you're okay. Thank you.
So Terry Labonte not happy with the circumstances that created that accident. Now, our leaders, Buddy Baker and Cale Yarborough, both into the pits under the yellow. These should be routine stops. Again, they will have the advantage of the yellow flag, but our concern lies with Neil Bonnett. Right now, Gary Gerald is just outside the hospital with Neil.
First thing, of course, is how is the hand and how do you feel physically?
Oh, I don't know. I've got to go get my hand x-rayed. I was trying to get out of the wreck, and I got my hand caught in the spoke in the steering wheel, and it cranked it backwards about 3 rounds, and the steering wheel spoke, and they don't know if it's got a fracture or not. I'm fixing to go get the x-ray.
So the injury was not a result of the initial impact, is that right?
Well, what happened was, you know, I got caught in the wreck, and trying to get out of the thing, and the wheel caught and just spun the wheel around. It was as soon as I hit him, it jerked the steering wheel out of my hand.
I see.
And it popped my wrist around.
What set up the accident?
I don't know. You know, I was just trying to work my way back to the front, and I saw Terry Labonte sideways up there, and then everybody started stacking up. There was just nowhere to go. I don't know what happened.
Thank you, Neil. Hope it's all right.
Well, we're happy that Neil Bonnett was not more seriously injured in that accident. It appears he's going to be fine. Dale Earnhardt brings them down to the green flag once again. The positions have reshuffled as Earnhardt is in the lead with a green flag out. And Sports World will be back. Flags to slow the pace of the race. Let's go down to Gary
started by Doug Richard and Roland Wyalika really earns their keep. The money's on the line. A green flag stop. It should be the final stop of the race. Here's Dale Earnhardt back on the track.
When Earnhardt brought it into the pits, Cale Yarborough picked up the lead, but now Yarborough is slowing on the backstretch, giving the lead over to Buddy Baker. And Yarborough's crew is preparing for a stop by Cale Yarborough. There's Baker out in front. Yarborough just keeping pace, ready to pick up the pit entrance. So Yarborough's crew, Junior Johnson and his group, are now ready to receive the defending national champion. There's Yarborough heading for the pits as Buddy Baker comes across the line in the lead. The big number 11 shows him where to stop. The gasoline is ready. The crew is ready. And our crew with Gary Gerald is down in the pits to report.
It's a task that's been performed hundreds of times, and the Junior Johnson crew usually executes it with almost utter perfection. Cale Yarborough calmly looking around from behind the wheel of his number 11 race car, already right side rubber, the fuel being topped off. His last stop is complete here at Charlotte.
Well, the decision is now up to Buddy Baker at number 28. He's leading. Does he wait for a yellow flag? Does he hope that there's going to be some debris on the race course to bring out the yellow? Or does he decide to bring the car in and make a stop under the green? He's stayed out one other lap. Ricky Rudd is right behind him in second. And Rudd's crew will have to make exactly the same decision. Do you gamble on a yellow, or do you bring it in? The decision is now up to the leader, Buddy Baker, in number 28. Buddy Baker's crew now beginning preparation, so they are going to bring that machine in, and under the green, Buddy Baker will find his crew ready for him. Number 28 rolls to a stop, almost hits another car. Let's go down to Gary Gerald in the pits.
Here's the third member of the front-running foursome now, safely in the pits. Waddell Wilson and his crew going at work. It's a windshield wash for Buddy Baker. He looks calm and cool, very much collected. Everything apparently going smoothly. Topping off the fuel, and away he goes. One of the really interesting stories, of course, has been the battle back that Ricky Rudd has shown us as he's come all the way from the rear of the pack, now up there with the front runners. And it's an amazing story because here's a young driver who took a car 2 years old, picked up the parts from his father's junkyard, had his brother building the motor, was befriended by Harry Hyde just within the last few weeks, and right now they find themselves with an opportunity to win a 500-mile race here at Charlotte.
So all four leaders have gone into the pits. Dale Earnhardt is out in front once again. Fantastic work on those stops by Gary Gerald and our pit crew. Sports World will be back at the Charlotte 500 right after this. Car number 2 is currently the leader, and he is on his way to victory and hopefully to pick up some additional points as he is on his way in his sophomore year to a national championship. In second place is Buddy Baker. Cale Yarborough is in third. In 7th position is the number 88 car of Darrell Waltrip. But Waltrip is currently running up with the leaders. He could become a factor yet here this afternoon. Waltrip, involved in an accident earlier in the day, has heavy damage to the left side of his car. Right now, it is Dale Earnhardt that is cruising handily. Here's Waltrip in 7th position, trying to unlap himself, trying to get around Buddy Baker. He doesn't, and moves in to try and unlap himself from Dale Earnhardt. So now Darrell Waltrip could in fact become a factor. Waltrip, his car has been mishandling all day. There's some question as to whether or not he should be on the race course, and he could become a factor in slowing the pursuit of the leader. It is definitely to the advantage of Dale Earnhardt, who is now out in front and can begin to widen his lead. There you see Buddy Baker closing up on Darrell Waltrip's car. It could be an important factor here this afternoon now. Gary Gerald is down in the pits watching the same battle. Here's Gary's report.
The sense of anticipation is acute here in the Dale Earnhardt pit. You can almost feel the smiles that have been pervading the last several laps because Darrell Waltrip is slowing the progress of Buddy Baker. And that, of course, is giving Earnhardt just a bit more breathing room as he heads toward a potential checkered flag and a possible national championship.
As Dale Earnhardt leads, the other question is whether or not the yellow flag might come out again, close up the pack entirely, and make it a sprint to the finish. There's Darrell Waltrip. Buddy Baker right behind him. Buddy Baker desperately wants to get past to begin once again his pursuit of the leader. But this is working definitely to Earnhardt's advantage. He is able to cruise out in front and run smoothly. While at the same time, Buddy Baker has to try and get around that car of Darrell Waltrip. Cale Yarborough, number 11, is sitting back in the 3rd position. And in 4th position at this moment is the number 22 car of Ricky Rudd. Rudd running in 4th. Yarborough 3rd. There's Ricky Rudd running running smoothly on the race course. Those cars all will have to get around Waltrip if they want to regain their pursuit once again of the leader. Waltrip still maintaining his position out in front of Buddy Baker. And Waltrip is holding the cars back a bit because his car is moving back and forth on the race course and making it that much more difficult to pass. So Buddy Baker and Yarborough have closed up now behind Waltrip. Both of them would like to get around Waltrip. Running smoothly at the moment, though. Waltrip simply running the line. Everything going very, very smoothly on the race course. Now Cale Yarborough drops down low. He's going to give it a shot to get around Darrell Waltrip. Can't get it done, but he does get around Buddy Baker and picks up second position in the process. So now the top of the order has scrambled once again. Dale Earnhardt leads. Cale Yarborough is in second. Buddy Baker is in third. In seventh position is Darrell Waltrip on the left side of your screen. He is one lap down. A spin on the main straightaway. Kyle Petty loses control. Will the yellow come out? If they bring...
You don't want a yellow, do you? No, we don't. They're working at a little bit of advantage behind us in the draft. We're out by ourselves. If they made up the difference with a caution flag and got right up with it, it's no telling who can win the race then. Right now, it looks pretty good, but we will.
Here is Cale Yarborough making a try to get around Waltrip. He does it. Buddy Baker gets by. So now this is really the battle on the race course. It is probably too late. Unless something extraordinary happens, Dale Earnhardt will go on to win this race. But the battle now between Cale Yarborough and Buddy Baker. They're out. They're around Waltrip, and they're running in free air. They would like to pursue Earnhardt to the finish, but the distance and time just won't work out. Earnhardt, unless something goes wrong, is going to go on and win this race. He is running very, very smoothly. He's slowed down just a tick in the past couple of laps, but he is still running very, very fast on the race course. In his sophomore year, last year's Rookie of the Year, performing well. Let's get a time. There is a watch in Dale Earnhardt's pits as they watch him move around this mile-and-a-half super speedway at Charlotte, North Carolina. Car number 2 moving very, very carefully, watching the traffic in front of him, hoping that the cars that are running slower will drop down low and give him the race course. And Dale Earnhardt approaches Harry Gant. Harry Gant is down in the race, so he will move down, give Earnhardt the fast line on the race course as they bring it down across the stripe. Dale Earnhardt picking up yet another lap. 33 and 94 100-seconds. That works out to just over 159 miles an hour on the last lap for Dale Earnhardt. So he is moving very smoothly. He is down about 5 miles an hour from his qualifying speed, but still it is fast enough to stay out in front of these two cars. The second place machine of Cale Yarborough and the third place machine of Buddy Baker. There Earnhardt once again puts another lap on the Charlotte Motor Speedway, moving toward 500 miles in victory. The battle back here, second place, Cale Yarborough and Buddy Baker still fighting it out. Dale Earnhardt is looking for his first victory here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Almost all 4 tires would have to roll off of that race car to deny him victory here today. The engine is sounding strong. The car is rolling smoothly on the racetrack. Dale Earnhardt on his way to victory. There's no way that they're going to catch him now. Starts of an absolute disaster in first place. They've been known to happen in Grand National stock car racing. The real battle, though, is back in second place between Cale Yarborough and Buddy Baker. Yarborough in 11, Baker in number 28. I bet there is a giant grin on the face of this man before the hometown crowd. Dale Earnhardt in car number 2, cruising on to victory. Now, Buddy Baker is still in excellent position behind Cale Yarborough. If he can set himself up just right, he can draft his way into second place. The white flag is out for Dale Earnhardt. 1.5 miles to go. 500 miles will be complete in just a matter of seconds now. This position is almost completely assured. But here is the battle. Baker sets himself up in Yarborough's draft. If he can take advantage of that draft, start out around to the left, and on into second place. Here's Dale Earnhardt off the 4th turn and down toward the checkered flag. Victory belongs to Dale Earnhardt. Let's watch for second place, though. That's where the question mark is. Baker making his try on the high side of the race. Baker's going to lose it. Baker starts to spin, gets it under control. Drives down onto pit road. Cale Yarborough comes across in second. Buddy Baker loses it. The last turn, the last lap. Let's see if he can maintain Earnhardt. Victory. His first time at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. But what an anxious moment for Buddy Baker and Cale Yarborough. Baker thought he had it done. Moved out, right side, lost control, and had to get it back under control to salvage third place. But here you can see Buddy Baker comes across the line smoothly in third place. Here is the unofficial order of finish. Earnhardt first, Yarborough second, Buddy Baker third, Ricky Rudd fourth, Donnie Allison fifth. Let's go down to Victory Circle.
You looked awful calm and composed inside there when you pulled up here in Victory Lane. Did you really feel that way inside?
Yeah, I did. The car was working great. You know, it seemed just everything went our way today, and had lucky breaks in the pits. The guys did a good job, and the car ran well. You know, it's awesome teams. It's getting hard to beat.
In the last stages of the race, were you aware of the fact that Darrell Waltrip was kind of doing some blocking for you in a sense that he was holding up the progress of Yarborough and Baker back there? That had to help you out a bit, Dale.
Well, I didn't know what was going on back there. I was just trying to make every lap count. I wasn't really paying attention to whether they was catching me or what.
Well, I know that this has to be a significant win because it takes you closer to a national championship, and it's right here in your home track.
Great, man. I'm telling you, it's just great.
All right, Dale Earnhardt, the man with a big grin down here now. Congratulatory kiss. Teresa alongside, and it's a jubilant scene, as always, right here in Victory Lane at Charlotte.
It's official now. Dale Earnhardt wins, Yarborough second, Baker third, Rudd fourth, and Donnie Allison in fifth. Sports World, we'll be right back.